2373. All right, we are on the record today on the request for guardianship in this file. May I have the names of our participants, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Andrew Rothman, attorney for petitioner.
Michael McFarland, I am the attorney for Ethan. Here, Your Honor.
He does appear to be joining us from the facility. Could we have your introductions just briefly, please?
Felicia DeWitt from Holt Senior Care.
Kristen Ball, RN.
Okay, hang on one second. Is it Felicia DeWitt?
Correct.
With an F as in Frank, right?
Correct.
Okay. And what was your name, ma'am?
Kristen Ball,
How do you spell that?
KRISTENBALL.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ariel Berger here as the guardian ad litem.
All right, and then Ms. DeWitt, Ms. Ball, you have with you Ethan, is that right?
Yep, Ethan, and then Ricky and Jenny.
Okay. And Ricky and Jenny are,
Go ahead.
It's Jennifer Bosane. I'm a RN.
And Ricky.
what did you say your last name? Sorry, hang on, we gotta capture everybody's names and spellings of those. So
Okay.
let's go back to Jennifer again. Could you give us your full name and spell it, please?
Jennifer, and then my last name is BEAUCHAINE.
Thank you. And who's our last participant?
And then Ricky, RIKKI, Nevins, NEVINS. And I'm a social worker here at Holt Senior Care.
Great, thank you. Okay, Mr. Rothman.
Thank you, Judge. If I could have Ms. Pardon me, Ms. Ricky Nevins sworn in, please.
Sure.
Nevins, can you please raise your right hand?
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
May I proceed, Judge?
You may.
Thank you. Ms. Nevins, where are you employed?
Holt Senior Care.
And I heard you say just before, when you were just identifying yourself, you're a social worker there, is that correct?
Yes.
And you actually signed this petition to modify a guardian for developmentally disabled individual on behalf of Holt Senior Care, is that correct?
Yes.
It states in your petition, and in particular, the attachment to paragraph 4, the conditions that Ethan suffers from, which includes cerebral palsy, developmental delay. And is it true that all those conditions continue to exist today?
Yes.
And I noticed there was an affidavit submitted from Dr. Menderata confirming that. Is that true?
Yes.
And is Dr. Menderata Ethan's attending physician?
It's Dr. Mataretti.
Mataretti,
Yes.
pardon me.
That's
Thank
right.
you. Can you spell his last name for the record so we have it correctly?
Madireddy.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
It further states that the current guardian, who is Natasha Cates, C-A-T-E-S, was appointed by this probate court in August of 2023. And you have described in your petition that there have been some issues
Your Honor, I do have one
regarding
question by
the current guardians.
Hang on, Mr. Rothman.
Would Ms. Cage be an interested party and have to be here at 10:30?
It's actually noticed for 9:30. I reviewed the file. So
okay,
there's
thank
just
you.
a mistake on the doc.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
And
Thanks,
actually,
Judge.
Okay, I didn't see her on the screen.
no, I just saw her pop into the waiting room, so
Okay.
she's now logged in, or someone under Tasha is. May I have whoever is logged in there under Tasha identify yourself, please?
Hi, yes, I am Natasha Cates.
Thank you. Okay. Very well. Go ahead, Mr. Rothman.
Thank you. Ms. Nevins, It states again in the attachment to paragraph 4 of your petition to modify that after Ms. Cates was appointed guardian, she has not been responsive to the facility in terms of attending care conferences or answering telephone calls, et cetera. Is that true?
Yes.
Can you describe that in a little bit more detail, please?
She did participate in an admission care conference. I believe there were 2 care conferences in between that she did not participate in.
Was she invited to those other care conferences?
Yes.
And what's the importance of a care conference?
Care planning and meeting the needs of the resident.
And how often are those done?
Every 3 months, quarterly.
Or could it be earlier if there's a change in condition or?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. And so guardians are notified of that?
Yes.
And can they participate by telephone or Zoom hookup or video call?
Yes, we do have a care conference line that we use for care conference, a phone line. When she was asked to participate, she wanted us to leave her a voicemail with the information instead of participating.
Who is generally present at on behalf of the facility at these care conferences?
Social work, nursing, physical or occupational or speech therapy, nursing. Life
So is it-
assessment.
So is it the full, what you would call the interdisciplinary team?
Yes,
And is the idea that you want to get input from all of those disciplines as well as feedback and authorization from the guardian to proceed with any changes to the care plan or to continue the care plan as is?
correct.
And are those done during the day shift there?
Yes,
And
Yeah.
is that because that's when those department representatives are present at the facility?
correct.
And what's the day shift hours?
Day shift is 8 to 4:30.
Okay. Is it true that Ms. Cates told you that she could not be available between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. on a daily basis?
Yes,
And is it also true that she has not answered the phone or returned phone calls during that period of time?
yes. And that regards to appointments or anything else as well.
So in other words, if you wanted to set up an appointment with a specialist or with a therapist, it would need to be done during that time. Is that right?
Correct. There are appointments that we have recommended that have not yet been scheduled.
Okay. What sorts of appointments?
Well, one is school. I can't, what? Urology. What other specialists? I'm thinking those neurology. So
Your Honor, I
you're
would ask that only one witness testify at a time. We have another person contributing to the
I
answers.
think that's Ethan.
that's
No, Your Honor, there's another female person contributing answers.
I can't even tell. Do we have more than one person talking at a time?
we were trying to.
We weren't trying to.
Okay, but they were, so I'll just,
All right, well, just a little reminder there that, to keep a clean record, you call a witness and that way we know for sure if there's a transcript necessary later, who's the one talking, okay?
I apologize.
That's okay.
So it's true that there were needs to make appointments with a urologist, is that correct?
Yes, and neurology, cardiology, and then also school was in that category.
Right, you mentioned school, and it does say something in your petition regarding school. When you brought up the issue of getting the guardian's authority or having the guardian worked to get Ethan into a school program. What was her response?
Her response was something to the effect of, he can't even talk, why does he need to go to school?
And in your experience working for a skilled nursing facility and also in your experience working with people who have been deemed developmentally disabled, is it still important for them, if they can participate, to be enrolled in school?
Yes.
Why is that?
Peer interaction, communication, he has the possibility of being in school and being in that environment until he's 26. So we think that that's the best option for him.
Okay. And you're getting no cooperation from the guardian in that regard?
Correct.
It also states that you had spoken to the guardian or attempted to speak to the guardian or communicate with the guardian regarding clothing and personal effects for Ethan. Is that correct?
Yes.
What was her response to that?
Something to the effect of, he only makes $60 a month. He can't afford that.
Okay. So not even an attempt to
No,
find clothing for him?
the clothing that he has and all of that type of thing that he has here has been donated by staff here.
Okay. But the guardian hasn't taken steps to try and remedy that,
No,
even going to a thrift store or anything else, as far as you know?
no, we've actually had staff here and from CMH do that.
Okay. CMH meaning?
Community mental health.
Thank you. Does Ethan get income, as far as you know?
As far as I know, that I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. Is that something that Ms. DeWitt would know?
Possibly. No.
Okay. And, but as far as you know, there's no issue with any kind of a past due balance with the facility at present. Is that correct?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. So the purpose of your filing this petition and asking for a professional guardian agency, is it true that the reason for that is that you want someone who will be responsive to Ethan's needs, who will be available to answer telephone calls, to make medical care decisions, to be able to have authority to sign him up for school, and to handle other issues like getting him clothing and personal effects? Is that correct?
Yes.
And have you dealt with Ms. Berman's agency before? Anita Berman?
No.
Okay, but Guardian Assistance of Michigan Incorporated on Hagedorn Road in East Lansing is who you're asking for. And that would be a professional guardian agency, as far as you know, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I don't have any further questions.
Okay. Do we know whether or not this professional guardian charges for their services?
Your Honor, I can, just as an officer of the court, tell you we've dealt with them numerous times, mostly in Ingham County and Eden County. They just take whatever the monthly allowance is, whether it's $83 per month or whatever it is out of the income. There is no additional charge.
So would that be essentially the $60 that he has left at the end of the month after cost of care?
Correct.
So he would have no allowance if we change it to the professional guardian?
Your Honor, I think what I would like to do, if I could, is ask Ms. DeWitt, who's from the business office. She may be able to enlighten us further on what his income is and how that works.
Thank you.
Okay.
All
If I could
right.
have,
Deputy-
I don't know if the attorney has, if counsel has any cross-examination first. Though.
Well, we'll get back to him in a minute.
That's fine.
Okay.
Mr. Witt? Mr. Witt, can you raise your, thank you. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Ms. DeWitt, are you employed at the Holt Senior Care and Rehab Center?
I am.
What's your job there, please?
I'm the business office manager.
And as business office manager, is it part of your responsibility to be familiar with the accounts of the residents who live there,
That is correct.
as well as their source of income, if that's possible to find out?
If that's possible, yes,
Okay. And are you familiar with Ethan Marlowe?
yes,
And are you familiar with his account at the facility and what the source of payment for his care is?
the source of payment for his care is Medicaid. He currently does not have a patient pay amount with us. I'm assuming it's because his income is too low to have a patient pay.
Okay. So if in fact, but do you happen to know though what his monthly income actually is?
I do not know.
Okay. And do you happen to know what the source of it is? Whether that's SSI or Social Security or the like?
I'm assuming that it's probably disability or social security disability, but I'm not for sure.
Okay, I don't want, I was about to tell you
Okay.
don't assume.
Sorry.
But the answer is you don't know. at
Yeah, I
present,
don't
is that right?
Yep.
Okay. But there is no patient pay amount you stated?
Correct,
So therefore his account is current, correct?
correct.
All right. Is he due at any time in the near future for a Medicaid redetermination application?
Or not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Regarding Judge Sala's inquiry, if a professional guardian, this particular professional guardian is appointed, do you know whether her agency charges or not for their services?
I do not.
Okay. I don't have any further questions, Judge.
All right, Mr. McFarland, any questions of either witness that we've heard from so far?
I do. I'll take Ms. DeWitt first, because she's testifying right now. Ms. DeWitt, it sounds as though there may be a possibility that if the guardian charges, they might charge, let's say, the $60 that might be left to my client, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, what do you think that he would need as far as if we were to hold some money back for his personal effects, for clothing? What else what is there a dollar amount that might be useful to help provide for him?
So I know that most of the residents here that have a trust that was held back, they use it for clothing, and haircuts. And a haircut here is about $25. As for clothing, I'm not sure exactly what he would need, but some clothes can be kind of expensive. So I would say 60 or maybe $60 or $40 a month would be needed in toys for him, I guess. He has interactive toys that he uses.
Thank you. Any other specialty items that are not provided by your facility that would be particular to his cerebral palsy or his or because he's bound to a wheelchair or any mobility items that you might need?
Just the toys, that's all I'm aware of.
Thank you. Nothing further from this witness, Your Honor.
Your Honor, could I follow up with one question, please?
Well, we've got to have Ms. Berger asking some questions too before we do that. So Ms. Berger, do you have any questions of this witness?
I do not.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Rothman.
Thank you. Just following up on counsel's last question to you. If there are items that that Ethan needs, for example, if he needed a specialized wheelchair or some durable medical equipment, would you expect that those would actually be covered by the Medicaid program?
Yes,
Okay, so he wouldn't have to pay out of pocket for that, is that right?
correct.
Okay, nothing further, Judge.
Thank you. Your questions for the other witness, Mr. McFarland?
Yes, and what was her name again?
Great question.
That was Ricky Nevins.
Ms.
Thank you.
Nevins.
Evans, is it? Ms. Evans?
Nevins,
It's
an N.
Nevins, thank you, thank you. Did you need to take a look at your notes or to refresh your memory about maybe anything else you've asked the guardian to do that she's not provided for my client?
The only other thing I would say would be to speak with a nurse who's here, who might have more medical terminology and recommendations.
Has she been invited or encouraged to do that?
Yes, she's here.
No, I mean, has the current guardian been encouraged to reach out and talk to the nursing staff regarding Ethan?
Yes,
And has she done so, to your knowledge?
not that I'm aware of.
Would there be notes in your file that would reflect whether she's done that? Is that how you would be aware?
So I mean, I do have his chart pulled up on my computer in front of me. There's a notes section, progress notes section, that's where it would be if that.
And it's not located in the notes section, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Does Ethan have a roommate?
He does.
Okay. If he were to go to school, where would the schooling be?
Whole, in the same city as the facility.
So it's not virtual, he would actually be able to get out and see the sunshine and commute, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Do you think that would be a good thing for him to get out in the world and not just be where he is there 24 hours a day?
Yes, enthusiastically.
Okay. Are there any other outings that he might be able to go to? Such as a park on a warm day or anything like that?
Sure. Or other appointments as well.
Now, my question is, if we have a guardian that's not local, I have some concerns that they'd be able to do that. Would they be able to have somebody from your facility do that? Or how does that work?
Do exactly what? Take a
Let's say
resident out?
Yeah, take a resident out, correct.
No. We could take them outside of the building, but not off-site.
Okay. Would you have any objection to a local Lenawee County guardian that might be able to pop in physically? Do you have any problems with that?
I would think that it would be easier to have a local to Ethan. My mind is drawing a blank on the word, I'm sorry. I think it would be more beneficial if his guardian were local to him.
If the guardian were afar out of county, would they be able to Zoom or in other manners have appointments?
Yes. Not appointments necessarily. There are specialist appointments that Ethan needs to physically go to the doctor to see. And that's another thing that we're not able to send staff with residents to appointments, so that would be up to the guardian as well.
So the guardian would have to drive him or make arrangements for him to be transported, correct?
I mean, we coordinate the transportation piece. But we want to be comfortable having Ian go without someone with him to an
Okay,
appointment.
but you do not accompany him, is that what I'm hearing?
Correct.
Has he had any medical appointments that were necessary as you described since Ms. Cates took over?
This would be where I would advise, if possible, to speak with the nurse about that's sitting next to me, if possible.
Thank you. Okay, I have no further questions.
All right, any other questions for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor, just to follow up, just for clarification, Ms. Nevin, where is the Holt Senior Care and Rehab located?
5091 Willoughby Road, Holt, Michigan.
And is that in, oh, go ahead, you can give the zip, go ahead.
48842.
Is that in Ingham County?
Yes,
So you're about an hour and a half drive from the courtroom, correct?
yes.
All right. And the agency that you've recommended be appointed is on Hagedorn Road in East Lansing, Michigan. And where is East Lansing also in Ingham County?
Yes.
So there shouldn't really be an issue with if in fact the agency is appointed by the court. It should be easy for them to go. Basically, you're both in suburban Lansing, correct?
It's about 20 minutes, I'd say, from here to
Okay.
East Lansing.
Okay, nothing further, Judge.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to call a brief recess and just have a chat